Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he never left much to my mom and me. Just an old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Well, I don't blame on Daddy running ahead, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and he named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, 'cause I got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. It seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal will giggle and I turn red, and then some guy will laugh and I bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. I roamed from town to town just to hide my shame. But I made a vow to the moon and stars. I searched the honks, tonks, and bars, and I killed a man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gallenberg and it was mid-July. I just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on the street of mud. There at this table dealing studs sat that dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and he was gray and old, and when I looked at him my blood ran cold. I said, "My name is Sue, how do you do? Now you gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, then we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I can tell you I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and bit like a crocodile. First I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he reached for his gun and I pulled mine first, and I just saw him stood there and he just smiled. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, well, he gotta be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you long." So I gave you that name and then I said goodbye, and I knew you had to get tough or die. It's because of the name that helped to make you strong. Well, you know you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now. I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm that son of a gun that named you Sue. Well, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw him a gun. I called him a call and he called me a son. I came away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'll name him Bill, George, or Frank, or anything but Sue. God, I still hate that name.